10 states where black people can live large on just $1,000 a month? Yep, this isn't a fantasy, it's real life. And in today's America, that kind of affordability is rarer than a rent-controlled NYC apartment with a view. But for black folks looking for budget-friendly, welcoming, and culturally rich places to call home, these hidden gems actually exist. And they're not just livable, they're thrivable. We're talking about places where $1,000 a month doesn't just pay your rent. It covers groceries, Wi-Fi, and maybe even leaves you enough for a Friday night fish fry or some soul food takeout. In a country where the average rent alone is over $1,300, finding affordable states where black people can live comfortably, build community, and keep some dignity in their budget is the real American dream. So, whether you're a solo budget warrior or moving with your crew, this list of the top 10 states where black people can live for $1,000 a month is exactly what you need. Stay tuned, take notes, and don't blink, because your next move might be just a click away. Smash that like button and let's dive into where you can truly live large on less. Number 10, Michigan. Wait, Michigan? Yes, you heard right. Before you roll your eyes and say Flint though, hold up. Michigan has some of the most overlooked, budget-friendly towns where black people can actually live large on just $1,000 a month. And no, we're not talking about camping in your cousin's backyard. We mean real towns, real homes, real chances to thrive. Let's talk numbers. The average rent in Flint? Around $700 a month. That leaves enough room in your budget for groceries, utilities, internet, and still a little something left for that Sunday dinner plate. In towns like Saginaw and Benton Harbor, housing prices are shockingly low. Many homes can be rented or bought for what some folks pay monthly in Miami just to park their car. And here's the kicker. These towns are majority black, and they're rebuilding. That means you can be part of the new wave shaping the future. Want to start a business? Michigan is one of the few states offering local support for black-owned businesses, with real community backing, grants, and even networking events tailored to minority entrepreneurs. Thinking of buying a home? This state is practically handing out state and federal homebuyer assistance like it's Oprah's favorite things. You get a grant, you get a down payment program. All jokes aside, if you've been priced out of big cities and tired of barely getting by, Michigan might be the place where you can stop surviving and start thriving. Now let's keep it real. Yeah, Flint had its crisis, but it's also had resilience, investment, and growth. And here's a question for you. Would you rather struggle in a place that's already peaked, or build a legacy in a place that's just getting started? If you're ready to stretch that $1,000 a month and actually live with space, dignity, and a seat at the table, Michigan just might surprise you. Number 9, Indiana. Gary, Indiana. Yes, that Gary is not just the hometown of the Jackson 5. It's also where you can snag a house for the price of a flat-screen TV. No exaggeration. Some homes go for under $20,000, and rent? Try $600 to $750 a month. That's not a typo. That's a whole house, not a shoebox in a high-rise. Now I know what you're thinking. Isn't Gary struggling? Yes, it's been through some things. But here's the twist. It's quietly rebuilding, and black folks are a big part of that change. Gary is majority black, which means you won't be the only one at the grocery store, the park, or the city council meeting. There's community here, authentic, resilient, and ready to grow. Plus, if you've ever dreamed of living near a big city without taking out a second mortgage, welcome to the Chicago-adjacent life. You get all the perks of proximity, jobs, entertainment, culture, without paying sky-high Illinois rent. Live in Indiana, play in Chi-Town. Best of both worlds. Towns like Muncie and Anderson are also stepping up, offering grants and relocation incentives for new residents. Yup, you could literally get paid to move. Who doesn't love free money? Let me ask you this. What's more valuable, a trendy zip code, or waking up every morning knowing your bills are paid, your fridge is full, and your peace of mind is intact? Indiana might not be flashy, but if you're all about smart moves and stretching your dollars, it deserves a serious look. Affordable living, black communities, grants to help you settle, and Chicago within arm's reach? That's a win. Number 8, Missouri. Here's something wild. In parts of Missouri, $1,100 a month isn't just enough. It's comfortable. You can pay rent, buy groceries, gas up the car, and still have enough left over to hit the weekend cookout like a boss. Sound too good to be true? Keep watching. Towns like St. Joseph, Cape Girardeau, and Jefferson City are flying under the radar. But trust me, they've got what you're looking for. The cost of living in Missouri is nearly 15% lower than the national average. That's not pocket change. That's the kind of savings that let you stop choosing between paying the light bill and treating yourself to lemon pepper wings on a Friday night. Let's be honest, most of us are overpaying for mediocre living. But Missouri? It's sneaky affordable. You can find one-bedroom apartments under $700 a month, and in some areas, the state and local governments will even toss in housing incentives to get you to move. Yep, they're out here rolling out the red carpet for new residents. Need health care? Missouri says, no problem. It's one of the few states where medical care and education don't come with premium city prices. Great if you're raising kids, even better if you're not trying to break the bank over a checkup or college tuition. Now here's the real question. Would you rather hustle to afford rent in a city that couldn't care less about you, or invest that same energy into building a life in a place that actually wants you there? Missouri might not be topping every influencer's travel vlog, but for Black folks looking for affordability, space to grow, and room to breathe, it's got next. Number 7. South Carolina. Here's the jaw-dropper. In parts of South Carolina, $1,100 a month can actually cover your rent, your bills, your groceries, and still leave you enough to treat yourself to some shrimp and grits by the weekend. Yes, this is real life. And no, you don't have to live in a shed behind someone's uncle's cousin's trailer to pull it off. Let's talk about places like Sumter, Florence, and Orangeburg, towns where the vibe is laid back, the housing is ridiculously affordable, and the sense of Black belonging is strong. You'll find majority Black communities that don't just welcome you, they greet you like family at a reunion. And let's be honest, isn't that what so many of us are missing in big cities? South Carolina is also home to the Gullah Geechee heritage, a culture rich with African roots, soul food, music, storytelling, and history. You're not just moving somewhere cheap, you're stepping into a living, breathing legacy. Now here's a little Southern secret. Homes here often come with big yards and space to breathe. That means backyard barbecues, gardening, or just peace and quiet under the trees, without hearing your neighbor sneeze through the walls. Let me ask you this. What would your life look like with lower rent, a supportive Black community, cultural connection, and extra cash in your pocket each month? That's not just surviving, that's freedom. Whether you're a first-time renter, a parent trying to raise a family, or just someone who wants more for less, South Carolina could be your sweet tea dream come true. Number 6. Louisiana. $1,100 a month in Louisiana? That's not just rent money, it's live good money. And in towns like Alexandria, Monroe, and Shreveport, your dollar doesn't just stretch, it struts like it's second lining through a jazz parade. Let's be clear, Louisiana isn't just cheap, it's rich. Rich in Creole flavor, Black history, soulful music, and the kind of community where everybody knows your name and your mama's gumbo recipe. This state serves culture hotter than a bowl of crawfish etouffee. And yes, you'll eat very well without busting your budget. Food here is not just affordable, it's part of the lifestyle. You can get a plate that tastes like your grandma cooked it for under $10. So how does housing stack up? You'll find rents under $700, plenty of homes with yards, we're talking porch-sitting vibes, and a pace of life that says, slow down and stay a while. The cost of living sits well below the national average, which makes it perfect for singles and families alike. A family of 3 can live comfortably around $2,600 a month, which in many states barely covers daycare. Here's the kicker. Louisiana is deeply rooted in Black culture. From jazz to Zydeco, from Mardi Gras Indians to Black-owned businesses on every block, this isn't a place where you just live, you belong. Festivals like Bayou Classic, Juneteenth celebrations, and family-style events are the norm. There's a rhythm to life here, and it welcomes you to dance right along. So let me ask, do you want just affordable housing, or do you want affordable housing plus soul, community, and flavor? Because Louisiana isn't just another budget-friendly state, it's an experience. And your $1,000 a month can go a whole lot further when you're also rich in culture. Hold up. Before we get into the top 5, I need you to do 2 things real quick. Hit that like button if you've ever thought about leaving your overpriced city behind, and drop a comment telling me which state you'd actually consider moving to. I'm curious, are you team big yard and slow living, or more into affordable city vibes? And hey, if you're getting value from this video so far, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next guide that could change your zip code and your budget. Number 5. North Carolina. Yes, you can still live good in North Carolina for just $1,000 a month. Shocking? Maybe, but true. And no, we're not talking about camping in a van down by the Cape Fear River. We're talking real towns like Fayetteville, Rocky Mount, and Goldsboro, where you can actually afford your life and still have a social life. Here's the thing. North Carolina is quietly winning. The cost of living is below the national average, with apartments renting for $700 to $900 a month in many towns. That leaves plenty of room for food, Wi-Fi, your Netflix subscription, and still some left for a Bojangles run after church. And for families, a solid life on $2,800 a month is very doable. But let's not skip the soul of it all. This state is rich in Black history. From the legacy of historically Black colleges and universities, HBCUs, to communities that actually support Black businesses, North Carolina offers more than just affordability. It offers a place where Black excellence is baked right into the bricks. And let's talk accessibility. Smaller cities here have decent public transit. No, not NYC level, but still a step up from walking 5 miles to a bus stop. The infrastructure is growing, jobs are expanding, and the neighborhoods, welcoming, diverse, and proud of it. You won't just find a home, you'll find a place where your presence matters. Here's a question for you. Would you rather overpay to feel invisible in a big-name city, or thrive somewhere that embraces you and respects your hustle? Number 4. Georgia. Here's the plot twist. You don't need Atlanta money to live well in Georgia. Shocking, right? Because while ATL gets all the shine, just a few hours away you'll find towns like Albany, Macon, and Augusta, where the vibe is still strong, the culture is Black and beautiful, and your $1,100 a month budget can actually take a deep breath and relax. Let's break it down. In these smaller cities, one-bedroom apartments average around $700 to $850, leaving enough room for groceries, bills, and a little something extra, because life shouldn't be a constant financial chokehold. And if you've got a family, $2,700 a month can cover your entire household with room to grow, play, and maybe even save. Now let's talk culture. Georgia is one of the Blackest states in the US, and it shows. Whether you're walking through the soul-filled streets of Macon or enjoying live music in Augusta, the sense of Black pride, power, and presence is palpable. And here's the kicker. You don't have to fight for visibility like in some gentrified metropolis. You already belong. Tired of renting? Georgia's smaller towns make homeownership a real possibility. You can still find homes for under $150,000. Yes, actual houses, not those Matchbox condos with fake luxury slapped on the listing. You ready to own your space instead of just occupying it? Plus, healthcare and groceries here don't come with the sticker shock you'd expect in bigger cities. You won't need to sell a kidney just to pay a doctor's bill or buy avocados. So here's a question for you. Why keep chasing a city that's outpriced its own charm when you can live large where the culture is still strong, the people are still warm, and your money actually goes somewhere? Number 3. Arkansas. Yes, Arkansas. The state most folks forget to Google. But you know what? That might just be its biggest flex. Because while the rest of the country is fighting over overpriced apartments and side-eyeing $8 cartons of eggs, Arkansas is out here whispering, you could have been living good. In towns like Pine Bluff, Fort Smith, and Jonesboro, your $1,050 a month budget as a single person is not just enough, it's more than enough. We're talking rent prices averaging $600 to $750, often for multi-bedroom homes with actual yards. And if you're rolling with a crew, a family of 3 can coast on about $2,400 a month. That's rent, bills, food, and yes, even room for a weekend road trip or 2. And here's what people miss. Arkansas is quiet, not boring. There's a difference. These towns come with low crime rates, low rent, and a refreshingly chill pace of life. You get time to breathe, time to think, Time to not constantly stress about money. Now let's talk community. Places like Pine Bluff have a growing Black population, and local Black churches, businesses, and orgs are stepping up in a big way. You won't feel isolated, you'll feel invested. Plus, for the nature lovers, or just folks who like a good scenic Instagram post, Arkansas is full of outdoor gems. Hiking trails, lakes, rivers, and mountains all within reach. It's like your rent comes with a bonus national park pass. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you walked outside and just heard silence instead of sirens? When did you last wake up and not stress about your next rent payment? Arkansas may not have the glitz of a major city, but it's got something far more valuable: peace of mind on a budget. And that, my friend, is priceless. Number 2, Alabama. Here's the kicker. In Alabama, you can rent a decent home, pay your bills, and still have money left over for barbecue and sweet tea, all on just $1,100 a month. That's not a joke. That's Alabama life. And no, we're not talking about backwoods and banjos. We're talking real towns like Selma, Anniston, and Phoenix City, where affordability meets deep-rooted legacy. Now let's talk rent. You can find homes here for $600 to $750 a month. Actual homes, not converted broom closets with character. And if you're rolling with your family, $2,600 a month covers everything you need and then some. We're talking mortgage-level affordability on a rental budget. But what makes Alabama hit different? The history. This is sacred ground for the civil rights movement. Selma's Edmund Pettus Bridge isn't just a landmark, it's a monument to Black resilience. And that pride is still woven into everyday life. Alabama isn't just affordable, it's empowering. Now ask yourself, would you rather pay $2,000 a month in some city that erases your culture, or $750 in a town that honors it? Beyond rent, Alabama shines with tight-knit church-based networks, small Black-owned businesses, and folks who actually look out for each other. There's a strong sense of community, the kind that drops off hot meals when times are tough and shows up to support local Black entrepreneurs without asking for a discount. Here's something to chew on. Would your life feel better with lower bills and deeper roots? Because in Alabama, the cost of living is low, but the value of living is high. Now, take a breath, because we're headed to the number 1 spot, the state where living large on $1,000 a month isn't just a goal, it's a whole lifestyle. Let's go. Number 1, Mississippi. Here it is, the number 1 spot. And trust me, this one's not just affordable, it's ridiculously affordable. Mississippi is the heavyweight champ of budget living, and yes, you can actually live here for around $1,000 a month. Not survive. Live. Like comfortably. Like with central air and a front porch swing. Let's talk numbers. In cities like Greenville, Meridian, and Vicksburg, you can still find rent for under $600 a month. That's not for a closet or a shared space with 3 strangers and a cat you didn't sign up for. We're talking full apartments, sometimes even small homes. So what can $1,000 a month get you in Mississippi? Rent, utilities, groceries, and still enough left to grab some fried catfish, sweet tea, and gas money to visit your cousin on the other side of town. And here's the part nobody tells you. Mississippi has one of the strongest Black cultural identities in the entire country. From music to food to history to community resilience, the roots run deep. Over 37% of the state's population is Black, and it shows in the local businesses, churches, art, and everyday life. The vibe here? 1. Welcoming. Full of that signature Southern hospitality that makes you feel like you've known your neighbor for 20 years, even if you just moved in last week. People still wave at you from their front porches. And yes, the cookouts are that good. So let me ask you, what would it feel like to live in a place where your money actually stretches far enough to give you breathing room and belonging? Where you don't have to choose between comfort and community? Mississippi isn't just affordable, it's soulful. And in a world that's always trying to push people to do more with less, this state quietly gives you more for less, with a side of cornbread. Whether you're searching for peace, purpose, or just a break from that sky-high rent, these states prove that affordable, Black-friendly living is still out there. Drop a comment and let me know, which state would you move to first? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a guide to living well for less.